Hi, boys and girls. I'm Mrs. Cortes, and today I will be reading chapters 7 and 8 from the story Heidi Heckelbeck and the Christmas Surprise by Wanda Coven. This story is found on SORA. Chapter 7 A Bad Mix. Heidi sat on her bed and opened her book of spells. She ran her finger down the page and found a section called Jewelry Repair. Perfect, she thought, as she flipped to the page. She read over the spell Jewelry Repair. Has your favorite piece of jewelry been broken? Have you busted a clasp? Lost a gemstone? Perhaps you've damaged a charm or locket? Then this is the spell for you. Ingredients: 1 cup of apple juice, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 2 grape seeds. Collect the ingredients and mix them together in a glass. Add the broken jewelry. Hold your Witches of Westwick medallion in one hand and place your other hand over the mix. Chant the following words: Jingle, jiggle, jiggle. Watch this piece of jewelry wiggle. Make it look as good as new without staples, string, or glue. I can make Mom's bracelet as good as new, Heidi said to herself. She hopped off her bed and ran to the kitchen. Then she helped herself to a cup of apple juice, a mixing spoon, and 2 grapes. Now all I need is some sugar. Mom had left a bowl of red sugar on the counter. She had been making Christmas cookies. Heidi sprinkled a teaspoon of red sugar into the glass with the apple juice. Then she snuck everything into her room. Heidi shut her bedroom door and sat at her desk. First she nibbled half a grape. Then she picked out the seeds with her fingernail and dropped 2 into the glass. Heidi stirred the ingredients with the spoon. Next, she added the smushed bracelet. She had the medallion in her right hand and put her left hand over the mix. Heidi chanted the spell. The mix bubbled and the bracelet wiggled and jiggled. Heidi waited for the liquid to settle. Then she fished out the bracelet. The charms had been perfectly repaired, but there was just one small problem. The bracelet was covered in rust. Chapter 8 Something Fishy. Oh, thought Heidi, I totally messed up. She shoved the bracelet into her jeans pocket and ran into the kitchen. There's only one person who can help me now. Mom, can I go to Aunt Trudy's? Heidi asked. Mom gave her a "What are you up to now" look. I need to talk to her about a Christmas surprise, explained Heidi. Well, okay, Mom said. Be back before dinner. Heidi pulled on her boots and coat and raced to her aunt's house. Aunt Trudy answered the door and smiled. Her cats, Agnes and Hilda, swirled beneath her flowing purple skirts. What a lovely surprise, said Aunt Trudy. Is something the matter? How did you know? Asked Heidi. Just a hunch, said Aunt Trudy. Come on in. Heidi followed her aunt to the kitchen and sat at the table. The house smelled like ginger. Would you like a slice of gingerbread? Asked Aunt Trudy. I'd love one, said Heidi. Aunt Trudy set the gingerbread and glass of milk in front of Heidi. Then she sat across from her. After taking a bite of gingerbread, Heidi reached into her pocket and pulled out the rusty charm bracelet. Oh my, said Aunt Trudy. Is that your mother's charm bracelet? Heidi nodded. She told her aunt about how she had taken the bracelet without asking and about how it had gotten run over by the snowplow. I used a jewelry repair spell, said Heidi, but something went wrong. I see, said Aunt Trudy. What kind of sugar did you use? Red Christmas sugar, said Heidi. Well, that explains the rust, said Aunt Trudy. Can we fix it? Asked Heidi. We can, said Aunt Trudy. We'll need silver fish scales, and they have to be special ordered. They take about 6 weeks to get here. 6 weeks, said Heidi. What if Mom finds out about the bracelet before then? Well, maybe you should tell her what happened, Aunt Trudy suggested. Are you kidding? Said Heidi. She'll be so mad at me. I took it without asking. We all make mistakes, honey, said Aunt Trudy. Your mom may get cross, but she'll understand. Heidi stared at the rusty bracelet. Her stomach felt queasy. The gingerbread gurgled in her tummy. Think about it, said Aunt Trudy with a wink. Heidi gave her aunt a big hug and plodded through the snow toward home. She looked at the bright Christmas lights on the trees and houses. She passed by a brightly lit Santa holding an armful of presents. Heidi sighed. Santa will be so disappointed in me. Then Heidi stopped in her tracks. On second thought, maybe Santa can help me. Thank you for listening. We'll continue with chapter 9 next.